Morning everybody, hope you're okay. Today, just a short video. I'm in Slack at the moment, in the old cemetery here. It's not one I've walked around before, so I'm just having a little wander. It's not actually part of why I'm here today. Not too long ago, we did our video on the Viking face carvings. I think it was our third look at them, because each time I'm adding to it. But rather than rehash the same video, I'm very excited to announce that I have found another one, because since that video people have been out looking for them. I got a couple of people who are searching, and yeah, one has been found that I haven't seen before, and it's up here in Slack. So we'll have a wander and see if we can find it. We'll just add little bits of what we find on the way as well. So it's a surprisingly big graveyard, this one, and I'm presuming it's for the chapel up the road. I'm sorry, I don't really know much else about it. It's just something I've come across en route. Obviously attention is drawn to the bigger gravestones. However, I found some from 2021, so it is a graveyard still in use. Quite a few Parkers, so I don't know if they are some relation to me, who knows, maybe distantly. Yeah, some huge ones. They stand as sentinels looking out over the valley. Shackletons. Some here, Cockcrofts. Just a big tomb. All these people listed on the side. Oh, all the way around, in fact. Wow. This one looks interesting. It's got an anchor attached to it. What does it say? Gosh, it's a lot to read there. I can't make out most of it. There's another huge one, an obelisk. Lots of names on here for Sutcliffe, but the one on the side there, Robert Sutcliffe, died at sea of wounds received in action, the Battle of the Somme. Yeah, it's an interesting graveyard. Obviously a lot of stories here, not just the ones I've shown you. Kind of just gone and picked the biggest stones, sorry. But yeah, if I find out any more, I might return here. Let's continue for now. This one's brilliant. Squire Sunderland of Slack Bottom. What a name. What a place. Right, just on the way out here, there's a sign. The ground for this cemetery was presented to the Heptonstall Slack Baptist Church. Right, so it is the Slack graveyard then. So I think the chapel here is the chapel for the graveyard. Before we head up there, this bit here is Slack Top. The bottom end of the road is Slack Bottom. And there's a new blue plaque just appeared on one of the houses. And it's good because in Heptonstall, you know, you've got people come up for Sylvia, people come up for King David Hartley of the Coiners. But the person who lived here is also definitely worthy of mention. So the blue plaque that's on the wall is for Ethel Carney Holdsworth, who was born in 1886 and died in 1962. She was neither born or died at Slack Top, but lived there for a good chunk of life with her husband. She's famous as being the first working-class woman to publish a novel, and published 10 novels in her lifetime. She was also politically active, which was quite rare for women at the time. This is before the suffragettes even. She protested against conscription in World War I. Apparently in the lounge of the house where she lived, she wrote Helen of Fourgates in 1917, which was made into a very popular film in 1920. As a film, it was actually lost for over 80 years before reappearing around 2007. The film was shot in Heptonstall and gives a wonderful snapshot of the Pennine Hills at the time. I wonder if it's possible to do a location then and now for it. Right, so I'm wrong. It says Mount Zion Baptist Chapel. Looks private now. Oh, there's another chapel here. Maybe it's this one. Oh, this might just be the Sunday school. I'm not sure. See, I was so excited to come and do the Viking. I didn't do my history. But this looks like it's either being gutted or work is underway to save it. I'm not sure which. Mount Zion Baptist Chapel was actually in the headlines in the 1980s. It had closed as a church in 1974, but around 1984 it was up for sale, and modern-day witch Barbara Brandolani attempted to buy it and set up a cult she'd previously run in Manchester, the Hermetic Order of the Silver Blade. The former congregation of the church raised the money to buy the chapel instead, and they even enlisted the help of Cliff Richard himself, who put funds in to help them buy it. Brandolini instead moved to Italy and then eventually returned to Manchester. She died in 2015 and is buried in Blackley Cemetery in Manchester, which is strangely the same cemetery Ethel Holdsworth is buried in. So we're really heading out into the back of Beyond here. Look at the sky. It's a bit better where I'm going, but oh, Viking head and home. Let's look at this view. Okay, so we're now out and onto the Pennine Way, and I've been told it's somewhere in this area here, so let's have a look around. Many rocks up here, so hopefully we can find it after this hike. Not quite the same, but thanks. I see rocks. Ah, You beauty. So there we go. I don't know how many of these we've found now. Is this 7 or 8? I'll have to recap on the last video. Thank you to Christina for the info and on accidentally stumbling across this one. So we have the usual traditional face of what we've found before. Initials RK. Yeah, if you've been watching this going, I have no idea what he's on about with these Viking faces. Here's a quick recap. So all the previous found Viking faces are on this video. If you search for it, you'll find it, but here's what we've found so far. So yeah, very pleased with that. Thanks again. And yeah, guys, if you're on the hillsides, do look out for them for me. And if you find one, send me, I don't know, what 3 words or the grid reference, so I can head out to look for it. Yeah, like I say, we've found 7 so far, or 8. And you know, if there are 20 or 40 of these to find, I may not find them all in my lifetime. So yeah. However, as you can see, they are in hidden little places that you wouldn't think to look. And of course, now we can really say definitely not all in the Cragvale area. They are all over the place. So just before we leave here, I'm going to follow the Pennine Way just for a little way and head towards that old ruin you can see in the middle of the picture. Oh, Bullen Field, great. So I think this is called Clough Head Farm, something like that. Oh, brilliant building. This is just round the back. It's all sealed up, so sorry we can't look in it today for you. Yeah, nice big old building. So it's just a nice little feature at the back. Some shelves. I wonder if this was like a cellar at one point. I guess the water came through there as well. Cool. So if I hold the camera, there's just a little gap there, just to see the fireplace inside. That's quite cool. Yeah. It's definitely matte proof. But there we go. So that's just a little wander around the hills of Slack. To the cemetery. We spotted a place where a famous person was, and thank you to the owner of the house for the information. I'm hoping it brings even more people to Slack, because she is definitely somebody worth remembering. We found our Viking face, and we found an impenetrable ruin. Good day had by all. See you very soon, guys. Obviously, videos are flying out, aren't they? Take care. Bye.